Welcome back to Homework with Friends.
And this is our special episode. Our first guests are here.
Yeah, very first guests are here, but before we introduce them, I'm Logan.
I'm Dalton.
Welcome to the show where we assign each other homework. This is episode 11.
Number 11.
Thanks for sticking with the summer break episode, everybody. And also, we are officially into Wave 2 of Homework with Friends.
Wave 2, Season 2.
Wait, Semester 2?
Semester 2.
So the second semester.
Sophomore year.
Guess not if you approve of the title. They do! Sophomore year. Here we are. We're going to run out of years really quick. But like Dalton mentioned, we do have guests here today.
We do, yeah.
Go ahead and introduce yourself, guys. Don't be shy.
Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah.
I'm Kaleigh.
And we're best friends.
Yeah, me and Dalton are shopping around for replacements.
Yes.
And we want to find some new hosts for the show just to spice it up a bit.
Yeah.
They're being kind. We bombarded them until they allowed us to join.
Well, that's a good point.
So,
You're Superfans.
Yes,
Superfans.
We are. I
Yes,
was one of the first to donate money for your wine.
Yes.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Probably the very first.
Second. No.
Second. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Robbie.
Rob,
Yeah.
Superfan Robbie.
Yeah.
He'll be on the podcast one day.
No, we'll make sure to never allow him.
Just us.
He already was. He sent in a recording.
But tell us, crazy gals, what made you want to be on the show?
We love it.
Don't really have a reason.
We also thought that we needed more education in our life.
Yeah.
And we needed a challenge and a deadline. And so, damn it. Homework with Friends was the answer.
The only answer.
It had to
The
happen.
only answer.
Yeah, well, you're brave souls. You're guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are.
If this is terrible, we'll never have another guest on again.
No pressure.
It won't be
Yeah.
terrible.
We got a new dynamic to work with. We have people we have to talk to.
Are you guys going to be thrown off that we're watching you talk?
No. I'm perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
cool.
good. We just we have to
They're
be,
going to throw me off, so.
we have to be conscious of lulls
Yeah.
in the conversation.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Making
So once
sure
you're done talking, I go...
Yeah, you can go right now.
Like this.
Yeah, we have to talk each other. It's 4 people on a podcast. That's a lot of people.
That
That
is
is a lot of people.
Oh.
Can we,
Oh, see? You guys already screwed
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, you're... Oh, God damn.
All right, we should introduce them 30 minutes in.
Yeah. Okay, can we go? Let's get into a small little introduction. Can we get something about you guys?
Yeah, let's
anything
get
you want?
some background.
No,
info.
let's do this high school style. So,
Okay.
Name,
Yeah.
grade, favorite subject, and a fun fact.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Name is Sarah. My grade would be 19th grade? 20th?
Make one up.
What's
I'm
your
out
age?
of college.
Oh. 25th grade.
25th grade.
25th,
yes.
25th
Yes.
year of life.
Yes.
Okay.
What was the other questions?
Fun fact.
Favorite subject and fun fact.
Oh, favorite subject was probably ceramics.
Okay.
Never.
That would be fun, but I didn't have ceramics.
Yeah, that's...
Okay,
I'm
so
jealous.
traditional English. I always did well in English. Might surprise people nowadays, but I did okay. I was an honors English student. My only honors class.
Oh.
So,
Solid.
by default,
Okay.
English.
All right, fun fact.
Fun fact. This is my go-to all throughout school. I have freckles in my eyes. Not a fun part about it. So do other people. And I found that out the hard way.
What was the first coming to Jesus moment when you realized that wasn't that interesting?
When someone was like, "Yeah, me too." Because I'm freckly. I was like, "Oh, cool! I have them in my eyes."
I thought it was unique when you told me for a couple of years. I
Thank you.
thought it was great.
So it depends on the crowd.
For a couple of years until you realize that people have them too.
You're like, wait a second, isn't that great?
No. So that's as fun as I get.
Let's go. And what are you drinking tonight?
We're doing a nice rosé. It is a Pinot Noir blend, 2016, and it's from my favorite place, Trader Joe's. It's more dry, and it's $5.
I think
very
that's
good.
the oldest wine we've ever had on the podcast.
Wait, what was it?
2016.
I got back in 2014,
I'm just
baby.
kidding, man. Don't take offense to the wine.
That's amazing. So that's me.
Yeah.
I'm Kaleigh, also known as Petey Giggs.
Yeah.
I am in the 25th grade. Math would be my favorite subject. And
Dweebazoid a little bit.
a bit of a nerd. And a fun fact, I always used to say Milan because I'm from Milan. the movie Hoosiers is based off my town.
Okay.
Oh.
But
Gene Hackman come to school with you?
that was a guy in my grade. That was his grandpa.
Gene Hackman?
Really?
No, not Gene Hackman.
Wait,
Gene,
was his
Gene,
grandpa
no.
previously?
No, Gene White was on the team, and but Gene, you know.
Oh.
But he was on the actual team.
Oh.
Not Gene Hackman. No, I have
Fascinating.
no relation to him.
It'd be cool if it was Gene Hackman.
It'd be a lot better, but it's not him, no.
So Indiana through and through, both of you.
Yes,
Oh.
Hoosiers.
Yeah. Or
Yikes.
That sucks.
Whatever.
I guess we can make one exception.
And we both went to Ball State. Chirp,
Yeah,
chirp, chirp.
Oh, shout out to Ball State.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, the beginning of the podcast, as you guys know, Dalton and I typically shoot the shit, but I think cumulatively over 10, 11 episodes, we've done that for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
So what we'd like to do now is we're going to give the keys to you gals and go ahead and just talk to each other, see how it feels.
Okay.
We'll chime in.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we'll chime in
Okay,
with some
so-
color commentary. Talk about high school, talk about general stuff. This is a nice change of pace for the listeners out there. They want to. We get a ton of feedback that we don't have a lot of female perspective on the show.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
we're happy to bring that.
Some say
Yeah.
0%.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can represent the large majority.
Same.
But I'm so happy to try.
Yeah.
So we actually earlier were talking about this though. So we met freshman year of college.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty instant best friends.
Yeah.
And it's only gotten tighter through time.
That's right.
But we were talking and middle school, grade school,
We would not have been friends.
we would not have been friends.
No.
Okay, that was a
And
question
you guys
asked
thought-
of us. That was
I
a
think
question
that's a
asked of us.
relatable
Yeah.
sensation to best pals nowadays who didn't meet at that age. It's like,
Yeah.
would we be friends?
Yeah.
What's your test? But
Yeah, can you tell us why?
So I...
You guys are thick as thieves nowadays.
yeah, right? I was very, very shy and intimidated by everything until, I was very shy through middle school, and I finally started to kind of get out of that in high school, and then junior year, I was good. But the teacher would ask me a question and I would cry. When I was
Wait, what?
in first grade.
You would cry?
Yes, I was.
Did you understand
so
you weren't
shy.
being yelled at?
Yeah, I knew that, but
Oh, wow.
Do you feel like you're going to cry while we ask you
I
questions?
can't handle it.
I feel
This is too
like
much.
a combination of I can't understand that, but also a lot of empathy at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I grew out of it. Clearly, I'm fine. I'm fine.
You really grew out of it.
Yeah.
Not to take you back to then, but what was that sensation? Be like, yeah, it's like Kaleigh.
Did you get hot in the face?
What's 2 plus 2? She's on
See,
the
I
floor
would know
sobbing.
the answer. They'd literally be like, "What's your name?" And I'd cry. I knew my name.
And you just go, "You're not my mom."
Yeah, pretty much.
Why did you ask me
Basically,
that?
yeah. No.
Wouldn't you cry in sports too? Soccer, the ball would come towards you and you just...
So, no, soccer, I was fine. I was a baller. Basketball, that was another story. So one of my friends, his dad was our basketball coach, and this is up until 5th grade, I think, is when I stopped playing. Couldn't handle it. He wouldn't put me in because I would cry, so I really appreciated that. Brian
Just
Voss,
looking out.
thank you. If you're listening to
you
this,
get
I
a
appreciate
chest
your
pass and you'd be
humility.
like, "No."
Yeah, it was great.
I don't know if you guys... I'm sorry, I'm going to volunteer this, and I hope you're okay
how
with
I
it.
look when I was a
Yeah.
child.
So, for those of you who don't know, Kaleigh's...
Which, for your information, will probably be most everyone.
Okay, so Kaleigh's just,
Hi, I'm Kaleigh.
beautiful inside and out, right? But...
They
Completely
Thank you.
objective opinion from a best friend.
They have
No,
locked
it's
eyes across the table.
she's subjectively beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay, so...
I'm gonna cry again.
Anyways, though, as a kid, Kaleigh is very lean and slender, but as a kid, she was freakishly skinny.
Didn't look well.
She had this large head, these big ass glasses.
I was very frail.
Yes. So
And
I want to volunteer a picture of you from your youth that you guys can post on
I
your
will.
Twitter.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We'd love that.
all right, I have to get. I have Twitter still, but I don't actually have it on. I don't have the app on my phone, so I never look at it.
That's
so I do
fine.
need to get it. So
We
I
have
can look at you
approximately
guys.
31 followers
It's about to be
right now.
Boom, so-
32.
Hey!
I got you.
It's a treat.
Hey.
Follow them already?
I don't really tweet.
So
So
Yeah. So I think we're on the wrong platform is what we're hearing, but
yeah.
yes.
continue.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, you were quiet.
Yeah, I was very quiet. I don't know. I was a follower.
Okay.
So I switched around with friends and stuff.
Sure.
And I was very just I don't know. I would
you say you were a little bit of a pushover?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yes. Still a little bit am, but
You've gotten a lot better.
No, I'm so much better.
Yeah.
A bit of a pushover, and then finally in high school, I grew out of that. And for the most part, and I'm good now. But
I like cry every other question.
yes, exactly.
Well, and then
So,
Sarah,
the
what
next
were you like?
Yeah, why wouldn't that?
That sounds
mess
like
with
a
you?
very friendable person.
Were you the
Thank
friggin'
you.
cool kid?
Yeah.
We switched places, clearly.
No, we kind of did,
That's
honestly.
like such a jab and a compliment.
Yeah.
The biggest running joke in my family is that, like, I peaked in 5th grade, which is kind of accurate. Like, I was running shit in 5th grade. I was really cool. But the beauty of it is, okay, so I just was, like, very bold when I was younger. I just would, I liked to be funny. I liked when people laughed at me. I had a lot of friends. I had a really close middle school class, like grade school, middle school, elementary, whatever. I went to Catholic school, so it was K through 12, or 8. K through 8. So I call it grade school. Like, all of that bottled into one, whatever. But my class was really close. We had a lot of fun. Did a lot of, like, boy-girl hanging out, like, even at young ages.
That's kind of cool. Where would you go? Like the mall?
The mall.
Yeah,
huge.
that's a big boy-girl hangout.
The movies.
See, our mall was an hour away, so we couldn't do that stuff.
Where'd you grow up?
Milan, I already told you in my
But you didn't indicate any mall distances.
Oh, you mean you grew up in Indiana?
Oh, sorry. I forgot. My bad. Yeah, you're right. The mall was in Ohio. So.
Corn, yeah.
We actually, sorry.
No, go for it.
I think I graduated with 94 people, and that was a big class.
Holy cow.
It was a very small town.
That's fun.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
everyone.
It was great. Yeah, I did.
Seriously.
Yeah, the entire high school. We would know.
There's Kaleigh cries a lot.
Yeah.
Kaleigh Crybaby.
Kaleigh. Yeah. She still goes by that.
Yeah. Here and there.
But anyway, so you had a tight middle school, a lot of
Tight
friend
middle school,
hangouts.
a lot of friends. But
Yeah.
the beauty of it is, you guys know me, I'm like weird, goofy. I was like that. And I had like really ugly glasses. I'd always wear my hair in these like ugly ponytails. Like I wasn't pretty, I wasn't cool. Had like decent style, but I still had a lot of friends. And I was in student council. I was president of student council. I played a lot of sports. I did get victimized by some mean girls in 6th grade.
Wait, what did they do?
I
need to know. You were about to just glance. I was a victim of many hate crimes.
It was like one group of girls, and we would do sleepovers at our house a lot. And so one time, 6th grade was a hard year for a few reasons.
That's when girls really start becoming bitches.
Yes. Like 5th grade, like junior, 6th grade, like in boys.
The first person to ever call a woman a bitch on our show.
Oh, sorry, you should probably cut that out.
We're just. You're right. You're speaking on behalf of this audience.
Catty.
Yeah.
Catty.
Yeah, that's
Catty. That's nice, right?
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because 6th grade is when like boys and girls start to like really interact. Like I remember having my first.
Yes, 6th grade for me too.
Yeah,
man.
I was totally hitting on all the flames in 6th
Definitely.
grade.
It
My
wasn't
first-
until I was 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have to wait till sophomore year.
My class was full of like a lot of youngest kids, so we had our older siblings to kind of model off of.
That's good.
So we watched what they did. So in 3rd grade, we all picked boyfriends. So
You picked them?
yeah, like
You
it
just
was
got
like,
to choose?
Was it out of a hat or?
it was like a mutual thing. Like you're like, oh, so and so,
Well, I'm
like
glad it was consensual.
yeah.
Nobody picked me.
You don't know that.
It's return to sad boys over there.
But yeah, there was a group of girls, and I knew that they were going home after school together on a Friday. So on instant message, I was like, "Hey, like, what are you guys doing tonight?" And they're like, "Going to the movies without you," or something super mean.
Oh,
Are you
Oh,
serious?
yeah,
It
dude.
was super mean, and
They
Those
were
girls
fucking
sound pretty
catty.
cool.
They're like, see you later, freckle eyes.
Nice fun fact.
4 eyes freckle fuck. That was for Rod because he wanted more F-bombs. So, incorporating when I can.
Yet another phrase I didn't think was going to be uttered on this podcast, but here it is.
Ever. So yeah, that kind of sucked. Also, I'm about to take a darker turn, but my mom had breast cancer when I was in 6th grade.
Okay.
So I was a little delicate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But pretend, but
Makes
not.
sense.
Yeah, my mom's like, "Do you want to talk about it?" I'm like, "No, it's cool." But then people would be kind of mean. So 6th grade was a little rough because I was also in a class without all of my best friends. Like
Mhm.
Oh,
Everyone-
that's
before.
everyone got along, but I had one really close friend, same birthday. They called us Bobsy twins, like inseparable. She got put into the other class because there was one teacher who would pick the cool kids. And then she
Really?
would, I'm not kidding, she literally would pick a group of kids that
that's
were
a cool teacher.
Yeah.
that were like friends with the cool kids
Yeah.
and put them in the other class as like a social experiment.
Okay.
It was twisted. So I was part of the
Yikes.
I like this
social
game.
experiment. Right? Twisted.
So, no, not to cut you off, but at this point in the story, still not seeing why you guys would not be
Yes,
friends.
it seems like you're the same person at these points. in your life.
No. Because like
You really could have used each other back then.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
kind of.
We've been wrong. I will say, so the beauty of my grade school is that, like, okay, so mean girls are inevitable. That was
Sure.
kind of like an isolated situation. For the most part, we all got along. Like, there wasn't a lot of people picking on people. Kind of felt like a big family. So while I was kind of like loud and like with the cooler kids, I was never mean to the dorkier kids.
Mm-hmm.
I never was.
You did just call them dorkier kids.
Whatever.
That's good. You weren't a bully.
I wasn't a bully.
That's good. I feel like everybody
Outwardly.
regrets some mean things they said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I still think of stuff that I'm like, oh, that was mean.
That's a little meanie weenie.
When were you guys mean?
Me?
Yeah. Or Logan.
Yeah, you are looking at him after I just said
No, I said I looked at both of you, but you were looking at him.
Wait, were you guys?
When were
mean?
both of you?
I don't think I was too mean.
Okay.
Okay.
I would make fun of people in the same way that I make fun of people today. So like everybody. I would never. And I guess like if it was somebody who didn't know me that well, it could come off as like bullying.
Mm-hmm.
But it
Just
was
your
like
personality.
my pals got it even worse.
Okay.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
before we get into the homework assignments, because we're coming up on that time, you guys got any good homework stories? What do you guys remember about homework?
So
History
History Day. I kind of have a bad memory, but in high school, my senior year in calculus, me and two of my friends, Robbie Schlatterback, Adam Lee, actually the maid of honor in Adam Lee's wedding coming up in December.
Wow.
To his wife.
Nice plug.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Shout out.
Thank God our listeners know that.
That's that patented Dalton meanness.
MOH.
They may listen. I'm getting you guys more viewers.
Oh no, this
listeners.
is the only reason we have guests right now.
Yeah.
We're stale.
We got this.
Yeah.
But I would do my calculus, every night, like a good student.
Sure.
Bring it in the next morning and
Calculus.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
What?
Told you I liked math.
All right, really building each other up over here. I like it.
Yeah.
We're a positive
That's what we do.
podcast.
Best friends.
I'd have that done. Adam would come into school. He'd copy my homework. Robbie would come into school. He'd pass it over to Robbie. He'd copy the homework. We had it first period. We'd go in, and no matter what, even though I did the homework every single time, they were so much better than me in calculus. They beat me every time. That's one thing I remember from high school.
Well,
Wait,
so
homework.
they could cram and crush you.
Yeah,
Wait,
like
they
they
were
didn't
copying
do the
your
homework. They were
homework?
copying my homework.
How were they better?
And they did better on the test every single
That's
time.
gotta be
Oh, the
demoralizing.
test. Okay.
And I'm still very upset about it, clearly.
And you know what? As a positive podcast, it's going to catch up with them.
Yeah.
You're going to win in the long run.
Yeah.
Kids out there, do your homework.
Yeah.
Or don't.
Yeah, or don't, because it sounds like it worked out for these
somebody-
guys.
I think we
We'll
learned a
give it
lesson
to
here.
you.
Don't do your homework.
What a
Yeah,
bummer.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Going off the cheating thing, though, like, that was big at my high school
Yeah.
for history. It was like the classic football coach was a history teacher, didn't know shit. So you would get we'd have these
Shots
packets
fired.
of like, shots fired.
Sorry, coach.
That's how ours was, but he was the track coach.
Oh, yeah, so that was one.
Yeah.
But
Classic.
we'd get these packets of like 50 question short answers. You'd have to read like a chapter of this huge history book.
So,
But you-
school.
So regular school
We
stuff.
got this book and we
So
had to read
school.
it.
But we had like, you'd get siblings packets passed down. But then by the time mine is like a 4th generation packet, so half the answers just stop. So you'll be like, I don't know, Chris Jones was running through the forest. And that's the only thing you have because whoever was copying it got lazy and like didn't have time to finish. So that's what I had to work off of. So I'd just be like, okay, this doesn't answer like how the war started, but Chris Jones was running through the forest.
So you're mad because your
That's it.
cheating didn't work out for you.
No, it still did. But it was funny.
Not as-
It
not
was
as
We're
well
trying to
as
find
it
the heart
did.
of this
Yeah,
story.
yeah. Like, what makes
I
you the
can't-
redeemable
I
person in
can't.
this?
No, I'm just saying I can relate to the cheating thing. It was
That
fun.
makes sense. I feel
Cheating
like
is hard.
Cheating is hard.
like I've never really been.
God.
I recall distinctly at our high school, which sounds like it was significantly bigger than your
Both,
guys'.
yeah.
I graduated with almost 700 kids just in my senior class.
That was the size of my whole high
so
school.
it was
Twice the size of my whole high
massive.
school.
But we would come in and we had these like tables and we would hang out in the cafeteria before we were like dismissed to go to our homeroom. So we had to like wait for like 15 minutes regardless every single day. That's weird. Which was mainly like lunch. Like it was like pre-lunch where you just like hung out with everybody.
Yeah.
And then that was like a feeding frenzy for homework. I remember like, yo, Courtney's got it! She would like throw it on the table and we'd be little vultures like running out. I can only imagine what's akin to it is like jumping in with meat attached to yourself into a Barracuda tank. It was just like, let's grab it!
Yeah. Always cheat.
You learn
on your homework.
This.
I think we have a new podcast idea. Watch out.
Always cheat.
Is the homework? Is the podcast how to cheat on your homework? It's a pretty short podcast.
All right, guys. Here's our first 10-minute episode. Consequently, our only 10-minute episode.
Take the person's homework who did it and write it down on yours.
And
change a couple words. Boom. Done.
Actually, this concludes the podcast.
Yes.
So now here's where we get into the real argumentative part of the podcast. Yes. Welcome to
Homework
Gauntlet.
Wait. Sarah.
Why do you think that's your turn to jump in?
So we know, this is what I'm going to say. You know what? We'll all have fun doing this, right?
Okay.
This is going to be fun. This is a fun time. There's nothing on the table besides, I think we're doing drinks, right? Is that on the table?
Yeah.
Drinks for the winner? Drinks?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I forgot about that.
I know, right? You gotta go hit that cash machine.
Boys ready to be schooled.
All right, easy. So before we do that, we got to intro what this segment is. This is titled "Battle of the Sexes."
Boom, boom, boom.
So we're all gonna take a turn saying a word from that, and it's gonna be a very exciting intro. It's time for Battle
of
the
Sexes. Hey, that worked out.
It worked out good enough. Guess should go first.
Guess go first.
Yeah. So
not to dry my eyes.
Not to get too far, but in preparation for this, we did watch a Billie Jean King documentary.
Oh, sweet. Cool.
So accuracy is on.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
We made sure accuracy was in play for this one.
When you watched the documentary, you didn't watch Battle of the Sexes, or have you seen Battle of the
Not
Sexes?
the motion picture, no.
Okay.
But just so you guys know, before we judge you harshly on this homework, and before you judge us equally harshly, we grade on quality, accuracy, effort, and what we like to call
Whoa
thank
factor.
you, Sarah.
And we've gotten good at this, I believe.
Yeah.
But the goal is when you're giving those grades, be as objective as possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take the competition out of it. Be,
Yeah. View everything as like a little microcosm of a greater grade.
As bad as I want to be Logan, I think I'm dunced like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, he's dunced it up.
Yeah, you have
I'm too fucking fair.
That's life, you know?
And I myself am too harsh. All
So-
right, ladies, back into your homework.
Our assignment was to do research on Battle of the Sexes, the big showdown between Bobby Riggs, Billie Jean King.
Mm-hmm.
We researched each of the players, a little bit of their background on the match, their friendship, the movie, and then the bonus part, top or 5 female athletes that are underrated but very impressive. So,
Who? No Mia Hamm.
No
Serena
Serena
Williams. We're done hearing about them.
We are. We're sick of
They're
it.
too good.
We know about them.
They don't need that. So,
All right. Well, I'll start. So Robert, also known as Bobby, Claremore Riggs, was an American tennis player who was born in Los Angeles, California on February 25th, 1918. He began training at tennis when he was 12, and at 18 he was ranked 4th in the U.S., and then at 21 he was 1st in the world. He was a top-ranked player in the 30s and 40s, but was most known for the Battle of the Sexes in 1973 against Billie Jean King, where he was defeated, which we'll get to that more later. And
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I really hit that right off the bat. Throughout the decade, he went on to earn numerous titles and championships. He won 6 Grand Slams, 3 singles, a double, and 2 mixed doubles. He served in the Navy during World War II while tournaments were suspended. And actually during that time, his whole life, he was a hustler and a gambler. And he actually made $105,000 in 1939 by betting on himself to win all 3 Wimbledon matches, which he did. And he couldn't collect the money when he had won, I guess, in England. And so then World War II had happened, and then after the war, he actually was able to collect more money.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Bobby sounds pretty cool.
I like Bob's.
Yeah.
Minus the gambling. And
I'm gonna bet on myself 3 times.
What's wrong? Gambling's legal now.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
And he
Yeah,
actually.
Sarah.
Well, come on.
Sorry, Battle of the Sexes. We're Team Bobby Riggs.
Clearly.
Team Bob's.
Oh, sure.
Obviously.
Just wait.
Okay.
Just see what happens.
Oh, we know what happens.
We know.
Already left.
You won't believe this.
Oh,
Never
wait up.
guess.
You'll never guess
One
what
we said we
happened.
watched the documentary. 2, you just told us.
Whatever.
Whoops. Did you guys? Well, never mind. I'll ask questions later. Really taking this over. He was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame in 1967. In 1988, and he retired, he went on to play some senior matches and such. In 1988, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and he battled that on and off for 7 years.
Yeah.
What a fighter.
Yeah, I know. 7 years. Founded the Bobby Riggs Tennis Club and Museum in Encinitas, California, to increase awareness of the disease. And then he passed in 1995. He had married 2 people.
Yes.
Catherine Fisher, and he had 2 sons with her. He was married between 39 and 51, and then he married Priscilla Whelan in 52 to 71. Took a 20-year break, got back together with her in 91 to 95. Had 3 sons and a daughter.
My man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I can't imagine,
Little fun fact.
well, being married in the first place, but then being divorced from somebody.
And then
20
marrying
years,
them again.
Marrying them again.
I know.
Yeah, sometimes it's time
It's
is
like-
right.
Second
Yeah,
time
it's true.
around.
20 years
Yeah.
later.
Yeah. Heart wants what it wants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Billie Jean, not my lover king. That's all I could think of when I was researching your name.
Top
So I typed it out.
quality humor from the Homework with Friends podcast over.
We are laughing.
Sarah,
I thought it was funny.
thank you. Sarah, get shit on.
Sorry, we're
I
getting
got
too into
your
the whole
back.
Battle of the Sexes.
That's okay.
thing.
So she's a California. Thank you.
We don't like anybody
Thank
being
you.
funnier than us on the podcast.
No.
And that's the
You
sad
must
I'll
not
let
like
you
a
know.
lot of people.
Okay, so Billie Jean is a California native. She comes from an athletic family. It's in her DNA and blood. Her mom's a swimmer.
They did test.
Yeah,
It's in her DNA and her blood.
changing teams.
Yeah, Kaleigh! Woo!
I'm going solo. I'm going rogue. Screw you
I
guys.
do want to take a quick aside. Thank you guys so much for being here.
What?
To the listeners out, they
Thank
can
you
see
for
us. They
having
don't know
us.
our
Thank
poor.
you.
We're not
Thank
being.
you.
We're not beating up on Kaleigh and Sarah here. At
I feel
Alright.
6th grade mean girl bullied.
Same.
We're joking around, and we want you guys to be as brutal
I'm not
on
a
us.
pushover anymore,
Yeah.
okay? So.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what we call character development.
15 years later.
I need it. I need to be. Yeah.
Anyway, do continue.
So her mom's a swimmer. Dad did basketball, baseball, track. Brother
Some say in her blood.
was a major league pitcher. So
Yeah.
she got it going on.
The Giants,
She got
I
into
believe.
tennis around age 11. And then by the age of 24, she became the top ranked women's tennis player. And that's when she became a professional tennis player. And then she got her win in 1972 at the French Open. It made her only the 5th woman in tennis to win the singles title at all 4 Grand Slams events. So she had a career Grand Slam.
Damn.
And she also won a Grand Slam in mixed doubles. So
Whoa.
for those of you who don't know what a Grand Slam is in tennis, it's when you win all 4 of the major tournaments in the year. So the Australian Open, the French Open, Wimbledon, US Open. So
And then for those of you who don't know what a mixed double is, that's when you go to McDonald's and get a McDouble and a McChicken, and you mix out one of the patties for a McChicken.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, which is sweet. They did that. a
Or you
lot.
could keep both patties and just put the McChicken patty on there as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's a
what I thought it
McGangbang.
was. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Kaleigh got legitimately interested in this.
Okay, now we're changing topic.
Anyways.
Oh man. Yes, mixed doubles in tennis is male and females playing together for the greater good. She
Not
won
quite
a
as
record.
Did you say not quite as good?
Hey, we
As
gotta
the
let Sarah do
McDonald's one.
Oh.
We gotta let Sarah do her homework.
I gotta
here, guys.
take his, I'm distracted. The class is distracting me.
That's on this.
She won a record 20 career titles at Wimbledon. She won the first singles championship in 1966. And then out of the 20, 6 of those were singles, 10 wins in doubles, and 4 wins in the mixed doubles. So, She's pretty accomplished.
She's a badass.
Yeah, she's good at it.
Yeah, she is good at it.
Some would say she's great at it.
Yeah.
In her blood.
Some would say that.
In DNA.
And there's more about her, but I think it is better to talk about that after we talk about the match.
So, Bobby Riggs actually challenged Billie Jean King, and she denied it first, and so he then challenged Margaret Court, and that was in 1973 on May 13th. It was on Mother's Day, and he took a victory, and this was then known as the Mother's Day Massacre.
That's so twisted.
What a name!
I did not know about this one.
No.
And he beat her 6-1 and then 6-2.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is a massacre.
Really took her down. So then he challenged Billie Jean King. She finally agreed. So she agreed to play him at 29. I believe he was
54?
Yeah, 54, 55.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mid-50s.
They faced off.
Safe bet.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
He's in his 50s.
These idiots will believe whatever we say.
That's a goal.
The two faced off on September 20th, 1973. Riggs arrived wearing a jacket emblazed with Sugar Daddy. And
Such a douche move, in my opinion.
Or
such a chauvinistic pig. He presented King with a lollipop, and she in turn presented him with a piglet, and that piglet went off. Can't do it with a straight face.
Keep going. You got it.
Because you would never expect it.
I'm very interested.
Yes, I want to hear it.
The pig actually went on to star in the well-known film Babe.
Did it really?
Get out of town.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I am.
That's awesome. Oh, damn, you got us.
I thought I ruined it. Oh my
god. We were talking about the Google Doc earlier, and she's like,
Years
did
ago.
you read what I wrote? I go, yeah, some of it. And then she's like, did you catch my joke in the thing? I go, I don't know.
I had to make sure it was worthy.
Brought that up. I was
Yo,
like,
spoiler
I thought you were being
alert.
serious.
Y'all just got some bonus points in Whoa.
Yeah.
Because I don't even care if that's true. That's fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It would have been pretty cool, though.
It would have.
I feel like
I have no
when
reason
did
to not
Babe
think
come
it's
out,
true.
though? Because I feel like pig was probably long gone.
Like the 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not paying attention to years right now.
Oh, just kidding. It was Babe.
I don't know. I don't know how long pigs live.
Well, I feel like it'd be a while.
About as long as
You guys
About 40
are
years.
from Indiana. You tell us.
Well, my family's pet pig is still kicking, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Where was I?
Back to the homework.
To the match. The match was a pivotal event in women's tennis and helped to transform the women's game into a major sport. King acknowledged that the pressure she had felt that day, saying, I thought it would set us back 50 years if I didn't win the match. It would run the women's tour and affect all women's self-esteem after that.
We were just saying, though, side note, we cannot imagine, like, how times were so different back then that, like, she felt so much pressure to win this tennis match that she would set women back that far from equality and taking them seriously. That's intense.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, stakes were high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I thought that was interesting.
Very. They actually played before a record crowd of 30,472 spectators, and it was televised to an audience of more than 90 million. That was the big sporting event of the year, not the Super Bowl, not the World Series. It's the Battle of the Sexes. The prize was $100,000, and King defeated Riggs in all three sets, if you didn't know. 6-4, 6-3, and 6-3. Many did speculate after that Riggs threw the match, but he said that he simply underestimated King.
Yeah. That was my first thought when I watched the documentary.
Yeah.
I was like, if I was him and I knew the odds were in my favor, I would bet everything on the other person and throw the match.
Well, it said that he had, when he played Margaret Court in the Mother's Day Massacre, he had trained like quite a bit for that. Yeah. And then with King, he was cocky. He was messing around. He would drink, gamble all week.
He's also he's in his late 50s, and she was the best female tennis player.
Like,
that's true.
29, able to run.
She could
go on to their friendship.
Yeah.
They became friends.
Believe it or not.
Don't give it away. God.
You were questioning that, right? Like they became
Yes.
friends.
Hey, it was a
My
question.
apologies.
Sorry,
They
we're
did become
Dalton
friends.
wasn't trying to mansplain anything.
Yeah.
He was actually simply inquiring.
I did not know that part. We turned it off. We turned it off.
Oh, okay.
After a while.
So they actually did become close friends after this. Riggs' last match was in 1993, and it was for an AIDS charity. And he actually played with King against Elton John and Martina Navratilova. Can anybody...
Anyone know her?
If you know it, tweet at Homework Pod.
Martina, I apologize if I mispronounce that. And so, like I said...
It was a good
going.
effort.
I know. You want to try it?
Yeah, that's the heat we want. We want you guys to
Continue.
get
Second
at
battle
us.
of sexes. And like I said, he did pass away of prostate cancer. And King phoned Riggs the day before he passed. They told each other that they loved each other. And he told her, we did it. We really did make a difference, didn't we? So he did change. He was quite the chauvinistic pig. And after the match and everything that they went through, he did change quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, you could say as a pig, he was really hamming it up.
Boom.
That was a stretch. No.
God, talk about lame jokes.
Harry,
You guys really did
now you're really cutting us down.
But in recent history,
feel kind
they
of
made a
bad now.
movie about it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys have heard.
I don't know if you guys heard.
What did they call that
It's
movie?
crazy. It's like we assigned it to you.
Great name. Battle of the Sexes.
Yeah.
Wait, no, what's the true name?
Battle.
Of
I'm not going to do this. Let's
The Sexes! Yes, that. So we got 85%
Thanks for listening,
on
guys.
Rotten Tomatoes. So that's good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What was that?
They got 85% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't typically...
What's the Metacritic score is when I...
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
92%.
was it a 92?
You made that up.
No.
Was it a 92?
Yeah.
Metacritic?
No, she's bold-faced lying to you
Yeah, and
right
the
now.
pig was in Babe.
Got him!
Should we get back to our notes? For
Continue.
I like this.
But Billie Jean King did say that the movie really captured the essence and it was very accurate. They captured the male and female aspect of life on and off the court, and they really focused on the time leading up to the match, more so than the match. I mean, it, of course, focused on that, but everything leading up to it was very accurate and big thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and Emma Stone played Billie, and Steve Carell played Riggs, and they both earned Golden Globe and nominations for their performances.
Excellent casting.
Yeah, great.
Oh, yes.
But
Great duo.
a little fun fact.
Two things,
Hit us
too.
with it.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, about Steve Carell. And
Yeah, go
them.
first.
Okay.
Go first.
So I was watching some interviews, and Billy was very excited that Emma Stone was cast, which was kind of cool. And then Steve Carell said that he does remember watching it, and he was 11, and he said he was watching Riggs, and he knew it was a show. I mean, he's like, everybody had to know that it was kind of a show. He wasn't that terrible.
I can
guess.
believe it.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
nasty.
I mean,
Just
Yes.
like building it up.
yeah, how animated he was about it.
It's like like professional boxing and stuff like that. They
Yeah,
they
that's
ham
the-
everything up and make it like a
Exactly.
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. But this saga had previously been dramatized in 2001
What?
as a TV movie called When Billy Beat Bobby.
When Billy beat Bobby.
Yeah,
Oh.
so that's a fun fact.
Battle of the
That
Sexes
is
is a
a
better
fun
name.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Emma Stone, Steve Carell. But
The other two.
yeah, like
that
not a
part's
not a
really
Lifetime movie, so more credibility. But after the match, just like another side note about Billie Jean, then she like really stepped up her fight for equal pay in sports, like women's equality, became a women's rights activist, and she was the first female athlete to top $100,000 in prize money in a single year.
Damn.
And she still wanted equal pay to her counterparts. So in 1973, she spearheaded, she spearheaded the formation of the Women's Tennis Association, and she like leveraged her status and celebrity, and then she threatened a boycott of the 73 U.S. Open if the pay like wasn't equal, and they addressed her demands, and she got equal pay as counterparts. So that's awesome. She used like her fame for good, which is cool.
Billy.
And then in 74, her and her then husband found World Team Tennis. It was a co-ed circuit, and she was one of the first women to coach professional male athletes.
Wow.
So it's cool. Yeah.
That is awesome.
And her personal life, though, so she did marry a man, Larry King, in 65, but she soon felt herself being more attracted to women, and she had a private affair with her personal assistant, Marilyn Barnett. And then later on, Marilyn filed a lawsuit against King in 81, and that's when it all kind of like came to light.
She filed a lawsuit?
Yeah.
About what?
Like
She said, or she
You did me dirty.
claimed that she
was like probably taken advantage of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
she deserved part of her assets.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, because she was like
Yeah.
the side piece.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so then she eventually
Side piece don't get no money.
don't get no money.
that's what I told mine.
According to the courts, they get quite a bit.
But she divorced Larry, her husband, in 87, and she became one of the first prominent women athletes to admit that they were homosexual. And she really like stepped up her support for the LGBT now Q community. And then she ended up going into a long-term relationship with a former player, Lana Kloss.
Okay.
And I found this interesting. So like in the height of her career, it's probably like what, mid-20s to like late 30s, but she said she didn't feel comfortable in her body until age 51.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Which
just
is
like
definitely,
internal-
I feel like that's really crazy too. After like at 29, she won the Battle of the Sexes, and it was such a big deal.
and she was doing like such
and like
big
soon after
movements.
that,
Yeah. So just like a crazy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. And then we'll wrap it up really quick with the five
Oh, yeah.
underrated
Yeah, I forgot about that.
athletes.
Do you want us to do the countdown? We can do the countdown for you if you want.
Sure thing.
All right. Number 5.
Oh, we have. This is another tricky name. Maria Torpakai or Torpaki. She was a pro Pakistani squash player, and for her first 16 years of life, she dressed as a boy so that she could actually play. She caught attention of the Taliban, and she received threats from them. So for 4 years, she was basically trapped in her home, and she practiced squash in her bedroom for 4 years. She then reached out to many professional squash players, and
That's
she
a big
got
bedroom.
I know, right?
Yeah.
God damn.
No kidding.
She got the attention of Jonathan Powers, and he then trained her. And before a little bit of this, at 11 years old, she was the first Pakistani girl in international squash tournaments. And she turned pro in 2000. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
4.
4 is Misty Copeland, and she is the first black woman to be promoted to the rank of principal at the American Ballet Theater, and the first ballet dancer to become an Under Armour sponsored athlete.
Boom.
Dance as a sport?
Yeah.
Wow. Number 3.
3 is Michelle Wee, golf. She was the youngest player to qualify for the USGA championship. She was 10.
I've still never golfed in my life.
Insane. She was 10 years old, and she was the youngest female to play a PGA tour.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Why do you have all of them?
No, it's not split up.
It's a little homework sandwich.
I know. Number 2, we have Candace Parker. She is a women's basketball player. She currently is the current forward center for the Los Angeles Sparks. And in 2008, she was Rookie of the Year and MVP of the season, which is super impressive. But in high school, she was named the Gatorade National Girls Basketball Player of the Year twice.
Boom.
She was the second junior to receive that award and the only female to receive that award twice. And then she played for the University of Tennessee. Under the Tennessee.
Tennessee, that's Indiana.
Only Tennessee. That's Indiana for you.
That's how we learn our skirts.
But she played under the famous Pat Summitt built a phenomenal program, won 2 national championships while she was there, but she forwent. She did not come back senior year because she got to play in the 2008 Olympics team. So she just decided to dedicate her time towards that. So yeah, she's a baller.
Number 1.
We have Babe Didrikson.
Pig in the City.
Yes. It all comes together, really.
Full circle.
I feel very bad. I hope I'm not calling anyone a pig by accident.
No.
Okay.
It is that pig.
So reboot number 1.
Babe Didrikson. Didrikson. Accomplished athlete in multiple sports. Track and field, golf, baseball, and basketball. She won 2 gold medals and 1 silver at the 1932 Summer Olympics for track and field. In the 80-meter hurdles, she broke a world record. Javelin, she got gold, and high jump, silver. She later turned to professional golf and won 10 LPGA major championships.
Holy cow.
She pitched in a few MLB exhibition games, and she's recognized as the world record holder for the farthest baseball thrown by a woman.
Damn.
How
far was it? Do you know?
Whoa.
You don't have to. I'm not gonna take points off if you don't.
No, we
Just
don't.
curious.
It's probably like
Far.
600 feet.
Yeah.
Pretty freaking far.
Yeah,
600
at least.
feet.
Yeah. But yeah, a few different ballers from different sports.
Yeah.
Few ballers from a few sports, baby.
That's a new biology.
Please notice the variety we added. Mm-hmm.
You guys did great.
Yes.
Thank
I
you.
believe,
Yes.
before we even get to grades, little...
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Golf
you,
clap,
guys.
I get it.
Because absolutely, I almost feel bad about absolutely destroying you guys. Yeah.
Let's okay. Let's get into
more
it.
jovial
Let's dive
reaction.
right in.
No, they didn't care.
Hey, look, we're
Side
just
note
joking.
though, it was good
So
to
we just bounce
learn.
this back
Yeah.
and forth?
Yeah, we'll introduce it and then. But you know what? Great job.
Thank you.
That was amazing. It feels kind of cool to hear homework from
It
other
does.
people.
It feels nice.
It was honestly kind of fun.
It was
I
fun.
mean, like, finding the time, I applaud you guys for doing that every
Yes.
week. Because even though I was off for multiple days this week, I was just like, I have no time.
So our homework this past week, thank you guys very much
Sorry.
for doing the homework.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our homework this past week, since staying within the Battle of the Sexes theme, was they wanted you boys to learn a little bit about contraception in general. So I'm going to read the exact text that we got, so that way we have the homework assignment correct. So we needed to provide a report on the following forms of birth control. The pill, diaphragm, IUD, contraceptive injections, contraceptive implants, condoms, both male and female. And last but not least, abstinence. They wanted to know how each is used, how they work, pros, cons, effectiveness, and if we were a woman.
You wish.
Which would we choose? So we divided and conquered on it.
Yes.
And we also provided a very fun final statement that we'll get to later.
Yay.
But just to talk about a few things in general before we dive into it, some statistics on contraceptive uses in general. What do you guys think the most commonly used one is?
I think the pill.
Yeah, I'd say that.
If you were to
IUD.
assign a percentage of
I
it?
think so.
I'm gonna say pill with
65%.
pill with 58%.
So this is just preferred method. So some people double up on stuff,
yeah.
but
58 with pill.
actually between the ages of 15 and 44, it's just 16% prefer the pill.
16%.
Oh, wow.
Another shocking statistic that wasn't even
We can't show this much whoa.
that was not even on the list of the things that you asked us to research.
Yeah.
Between the ages of 15 and 44, this was shocking to me. But what do you guys think is one of the main forms of contraception?
That wasn't on the list.
That wasn't on what you guys had provided.
The pull-out method.
Oh, yeah. Was that it?
Close.
Tubal sterilization.
That was my next guess.
Oh, really?
So get your tubes
Was
tied.
it?
Between 15 and 44.
That has to be on the latter end of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, most likely probably like 35 and plus on that,
Yeah.
but that's 15.5%, and then it goes to
though.
what do you guys think?
No,
The pill is number 1.
Sorry.
Condoms.
Condoms is number 3 at 9.4%. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and roll into our homework right now, and we're gonna start off with Dalton here.
I'm going first?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going first.
Yeah, let's talk about.
So this first one's going to be the most information thrown at you. It's the most scientific.
Okay.
Got a lot on it. And that's IUDs, Intrauterine Devices. Sometimes called an intrauterine contraceptive, is a small piece of plastic shaped like a T. And there are 5 brands of IUDs divided into 2 categories. So you have copper IUDs, and then you have hormonal IUDs. Copper IUDs, there's only the one. That's it. Paragard, it does not contain any hormones and is wrapped in a tiny piece of copper that protects you from pregnancy for up to 12 months. And then there's hormonal IUDs, and I think they're all named after girls.
Becky,
Because
Stacey.
well, you'll get it.
Billie Jean King.
There's
That's a very strong IUD. It can be in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's four different kinds. There's Marina, Kaleigh, Lolita, and Skyla.
Yeah.
All feature the hormone.
Those sound like fun gals to hang out with, number
Sounds
one.
like Lolita.
All feature the hormone progestin, which is very similar to the naturally produced hormone progesterone.
Okay.
And Marina works for up to 6 years, Kaleigh works for up to 5 years, Lolita up to 4, and Skyla up to 3.
Okay.
Both forms of these, the copper and the hormonal, alter the sperm's ability to get to the egg, which is how they work. Sperm don't like copper for some reason.
You know why? Because it
It
don't touch pennies, baby.
I had the reason written
It's
down.
all about money.
Sperm don't like copper
Give
because
them dollars.
copper spits on them and calls their dad a cheapskate. So that's how Paragard works.
Your daddy's a cheapskate. Get out of here.
And hormonal ones work by thickening the mucus that lives on the cervix, which blocks and traps the sperm. And also, sometimes the hormone will stop the egg from leaving the ovaries, so no egg, no pregnancy. Boom. IUDs are 99.9% effective, so, that's good. And copper IUDs can actually be used as an emergency contraceptive for up to 120 hours after unprotected sex.
Okay.
Right?
Damn.
Pros of IUDs, 99% effective. You can't forget to take them like the pill or use them incorrectly like a condom. They're reversible, convenient, and they can make your period better. They can cut down on cramps and make it lighter. And then another pro, the copper IUDs can be used as an emergency contraceptive. Cons, they do not protect against STDs. They can be painful upon initial insertion or for a few days afterwards.
Yeah.
They cost up to $1,300 at the most. And a little fun fact, Lazar C. Margulies developed the first plastic IUD using thermoplastics in the 1960s. Yeah.
Wow.
That is the most hardcore one.
Yeah, that one has a lot. Yeah, the rest of them are going to be pretty quick.
That's
And
okay. That's okay.
I'm really glad you brought up thickening mucus because we'll get to that later.
Boom, baby. There's a lot of thickening mucus in this.
That is...
I have some more.
So then we have the diaphragm, which, and I won't go into as much detail as the IUD. We're just going to kind of run through it. It is 88% effective at blocking unwanted pregnancies. Not that great at blocking STDs. That's one little downside of it on the cons. It's a shallow cup that you stick in there.
Stick in where?
You stick into your vagina.
Okay.
Thank you for
Sarah.
clarifying.
And it covers your cervix. And there's some diagrams that don't translate to the audio medium
Some diagrams for the diaphragm.
Yes, there's many diaphragm diagrams. You keep it in. This is a great note. So you're supposed to keep it in for 6 hours after intercourse. Okay? So you can put it in at any point in time before intercourse, but don't take it out too soon. Right? Because you know what the key to a diaphragm is, of course, is the spermicidal lube that you coat it with. So you gotta make sure it's killing that sperm. So when you take it out too soon, you might not have killed that sperm. You're gonna leave some residue in there, and you're in trouble.
Wow.
So it's basically just a cervix cap. You don't want to leave it in too long, though, because you could get toxic shock syndrome, which we all know isn't great. But fun fact about the
Diaphragm.
is you need a prescription for it.
What?
It's a prescribed medication because you have to be fitted for one.
Oh.
Which is also grimy.
Feel more comfortable about that.
Yeah. All right, on to the next one.
Okay, implants. Also called Nexplanon, I think is the correct proper name for it. Get this done real quick. It's a thin rod inserted under the skin of your arm that releases hormones that prevent pregnancy. Exactly like the hormonal IUD, the implant reduces progesterone, causing the same method of prevention, up to 99% effective, lasts up to 4 years. Pros: effective, convenient, and private, makes your period better. Yeah. Cons: can have negative effects such as headaches, breast pain, nausea, weight gain, ovarian cysts, pain, or infection at the point of insertion. And it does not protect against STDs. Once again, costs up to $1,300. That's the highest end. And a little fun fact, it's about the exact same size as a matchstick.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was that big, honestly.
That's big.
Yeah.
That is big.
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it in an arm.
Yeah, you can feel it.
Yeah. Ooh. Eee.
All right, time for the big daddy of it, or the big no daddy.
The big no daddy.
The pill.
That baby don't look like me.
So the pill is, it's the most commonly used one, as we had established earlier. It's 91% effective. You do take it every single day. It does the same of a lot of the hormonal treatments in that it blocks ovulation from occurring. Blocks the start of ovulation. No ovulation, no babe. It also thickens the mucus around the cervix, so it adds that additional layer of protection as well. Too thick that mucus, that sperm don't. Thank you, Dalton, once again. That sperm can't go through. I don't know if this is this probably should be more common knowledge, but I've seen it happen before with an ex-girlfriend of mine. Sorry, Mom.
You've had a girlfriend? Sorry, I'm attacking my own teammate.
Did she know?
Sorry, Mom, cover your ears. But I remember one time I was rooting through a couch and I had seen...
I'm sorry.
Is that what you're apologizing?
Is that like a metaphor for something else? Like the literal...
No. Were you having sex with a couch? Was the couch your girlfriend?
Dude, I rooted through the couch so hard.
And my couch was not on the birth control. So I was dating this girl, and I had dropped my keys in her couch. Sorry, I'm coming in too hot for the edit point. Fun fact about this, I don't know if everybody knows this, but I was dating this one girl, and I dropped my keys in her couch, and in the couch, I pulled out a packet of pills. And it kind of freaked me out because it said birth control on it, and it had 7 pills not taken on it. And I was like, about what?
So you're a pill counter.
Huh?
You're a pill counter.
Well, it's pretty easy to count because it does amount to 1 week.
1 week, yeah.
And I went to her and I said, have you maybe not taken these? And she said, those are the sugar pills, dummy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? And in birth control, to keep the habit up of taking the pills, is they have a week of sugar pills. So that way you keep the cycle going.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's not common knowledge, but I knew that.
All right, we can cut all of this.
No, don't.
You gotta leave that.
Clean edit point now?
No!
So it thickens the mucus around the cervix, so...
There's that mucus
sperm
again.
can't get it. So a major downside of the pill, like a lot of these hormonal treatments, is that they don't protect against STDs. Mm-hmm. So you always probably want to do an added layer of protection with the pill, just to be cautious unless you're with a trusted partner. Another downside is the pill is a hormonal treatment, and one thing we haven't touched on is that can really just affect a lot of things in a woman. It can affect mood. It can affect water weight gain primarily. It can affect appetite. Just in general can affect the body as a whole in a lot of unexpected ways.
On to the next one, baby. Abstinence.
Yeah.
How it works.
How does it work?
Don't have sex with each other. How it's used. By nerds and religious people. Pros! 0% chance of getting pregnant or an STD. Cons? It's a life of misery. Effectiveness. It has a 100% chance of being awful, but no babies.
100% chance of being awful.
Fun fact, used by 100% of nerds. I'd like to take this moment to say, just kidding, guys. Abstinence is the only true way to be 100% baby and STD free. Yeah. And if it's something you want to do, you should do it. Nerd.
On to contraceptive injections. Contraceptive injections work much like the contraceptive implants that we talked about before, except you use them about once every 3 months or so. So that's the main pro of it, is you don't have to think about it too much, but you just have to go back to your doctor, get that shot, and you're set. It makes that mucus thick, stops an ovulation. It's 94% effective. It's known as the depot shot. It really is just the same as any of these hormonal treatments. Another benefit of it is it can cause clearer skin.
Ooh.
That's a very nice benefit.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
And it makes you live forever. Oh my god, this Depot shot's pretty good.
Sign me up.
I might get a little Depot shot. But the main thing is that it's nice. You just have to do it about 4 times a year. Fun fact: after Depo-Provera, the name of the shot, is stopped, it can take an average of 9 to 10 months from the last shot until you can become pregnant. So this is not the best form of birth control for somebody who is seeking a family. Like, so say you're recently married and this was your preferred method of birth control, but you know you might want to start a family. Or let's say you're not married. Let's say you want to start a family anyway. I don't want to be...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
2018, baby.
Too traditional about it. This is the one that takes the most time from the beginning of treatment to go back into being fertile. So while some people like the convenience of it, there is a risk in that it can also kind of really screw up your hormones for a while.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah.
Boom.
So on to, for me, if I was a...
Wait, you guys missed condoms.
You guys missed
No,
condoms.
I saw... Yeah, you don't have female... You didn't do female condom.
Oh, I didn't. That was my bad,
Also known as the Femidon.
I meant to do abstinence last, is my problem.
Okay.
I messed up.
Forgive me.
In the order of typing them out. Female condoms, all right, are an alternative to regular condoms, which I guess would be male condoms. Instead of going on the penis, female condoms go inside your vagina, and they're great for preventing pregnancy and STDs, and can use it on your booty hole as well. Yeah, keeps the STDs out of your booty hole.
Asterisk C dental dam.
Yeah, same thing. Risque, 79% effective. Which it's shocking.
That's a
But
big gap.
Yeah.
it is a big gap.
Yeah.
I'll get into it on the male condom. But
Yeah, I think it's
know
similar
why.
stuff as like male condoms. The pros, they prevent STDs. They're usually latex free and comfortable, and can increase sexual pleasure. Cons, you need one every time, so you know, it's pricey, and
Unless you really want to roll the dice.
it takes some getting used to like stick her up in there.
For sure.
Fun fact: female condoms have been around since 1908.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I wonder what they were first made out of. Glass.
glass.
Yeah,
obviously
absolutely glass.
because that's pleasurable for the
Yeah.
female.
It feels.
That's probably
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, yeah, probably.
that's the most pleasurable for all involved.
Yeah.
Probably glass. Sorry.
To the gentlemen out there who
You're
want
funny.
to fuck a vase of flowers.
Yeah, if you're super into having sex with mugs,
Get it
Born in the wrong period.
Boy, the good old days. All right, you guys ready for the male condom?
Yeah.
Yes.
boom.
All right.
I mean,
So, male condom, also 79% effective. And here's the reason why, is misuse.
Yes.
Because
okay.
for the most part, it's a fairly effective way.
yeah.
But to those scary times, for anyone who's ever had a condom break, that can happen.
Yes.
So
Like
not
a
even
flag in the wind.
Wow.
so not even just the obvious breaks, but there's also any type of latex is porous, so there is the occasional hole that can occur that you don't even know about. And it doesn't take much if you're not in any other type of birth control to get pregnant from it. Just depending on
Some would
wherever
say
you're
even
at.
just one sperm.
Just one little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, just one.
Most of the time, just one sperm.
Unless
Usually not
you're
multiple.
unless you're twins.
And twins.
But the male condom is fairly simple. It's no glass boss up the female crevasse. It is simply a piece of latex on your penis.
You don't say.
Yes.
So just make for the men out there, for the women out there, just make sure you're using them correct. Make sure that the reservoir is at the tip of the penis and that it's rolled all the way down. Also, fun fact to the men out there who may not be getting steady action, shouts out. Make sure that condom's not expired. That can also have a huge play into it.
Can I plug something here?
Yeah, go for it.
And that's also, if you touch the wrong way, go to roll it down, doesn't work, you got to flip it over. The condom's no good anymore.
Oh
There
yeah,
could be pre-cum on that condom.
disgusting.
Oh.
Yeah, especially for those people who go
gotta
down
toss
to the
that bad
wire
boy.
on a condom, like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to do all the foreplay first, then put it on, and you put it on the wrong way, and then you have to re-flip it. Ooh, that's the worst thing you can do.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Side note, sorry. How long are they good? What expiration time frame?
Just check the package.
I think it's like 3 or 4 years, honestly.
Okay.
I think
It's a long time,
Okay.
but for like someone who's like, oh, I found this thing in the back of my night
Sure, it's the
drawer.
worst.
Yeah, it should be good.
No.
Shut up.
You should definitely have sex with that guy.
Yeah, that guy sounds
cool.
He's treating you well.
He sounds like my type, really.
Well, the thing is he's very nice and smart.
He means well.
Another thing, too, speaking of the Femidon, no condom on condom. You guys hear that whole thing about double bagging it?
Don't do that. That's bad.
Get out of here. You know what latex on latex does?
Break.
Friction. Thank you,
got
Kaleigh.
You did
So
it.
real quiet that I said it.
So no condom on condom, double bag it. Get out of here. That whole idiom's garbage. Fun fact about the condom is it can hold a gallon of fluid.
Water balloon.
Yo, just in case it's been a while.
So make sure it's not expired, but rip away, buddy.
Let it rip.
And that's all the contraceptive methods you had us guys talk about. But there is one that you guys didn't have us talk about that I think is worthy of mentioning. And I think it's going to come off in a very tool-y way. But once we describe why we're mentioning it is important, is the pull-out method.
The pull-out method. But here's what we have to say about it.
A staggering statistic about the pull-out method.
I would love to hear this.
Remember what condoms were?
It's the same.
Oh my god, no.
I want you guys to read the effectiveness.
No. 78%.
Fuck.
I know. Didn't expect it either.
Thank you. Thank you for reading it out loud, Kaleigh.
And here's the thing about the pull-out method.
It's
not a standalone method. It's a complementary method.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we're getting at. We're not saying it's something you should do by itself.
Okay.
Because obviously, if you're with somebody you trust and they have one of these other methods,
say a hormonal treatment, and you know they're
tested.
you can frequently go without a condom, but you should still use the pull-out method as a complementary method. Okay. But if you're with a new partner, you should always wear a condom. You don't know if they have STDs.
You do not?
But that doesn't mean you don't pull out. You just you increase that, baby. Increase that percentage. Pull out with the condom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
100.
Do everything.
Yes.
So we say
Except for male and female condoms together.
exactly.
Yeah, do not do
Don't
male
double
and female
those.
condoms
Don't
together.
want friction.
So we
If
say
you really don't know them, make sure they're on birth control. Make sure you got a condom on. Pull out, baby.
And
Or
abstinence.
Yes, and also
exactly.
abstinence.
Or
Yeah.
think twice.
Just kidding. Never abstinence.
yeah, abstinence with the withdrawal method is a police phone call because I don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Somebody's being lied to.
Oh, Jesus. I think she almost spit her wine out.
Oh, never, no.
That's our only spit take moment. You know what, guys? We talked for a while. We're late in the podcast. There's a lot of information that we went over, but I think there's only one true way that we can really lock this information in.
True way.
Do you guys remember Schoolhouse Rock?
Yeah.
Okay, so we decided that, you know what, the best way to learn anything is through a song.
Oh, shut.
So we decided to condense all of our information into one potent song so you guys could all learn it at home.
Brown nosers.
Hello, I'm Angela, and over the next few sessions, we're going to be together, talking about you growing up, your body, its changes, and a lot more. And I think you're going to find it fascinating.
Hey, let's pay attention while I teach you the methods of contraception. There's lots of things that I need to mention so you can make a wise selection. Lots of things you need to pick before you can go to bed and take that. What? I don't even really want to get into it. I'm gonna let my man Dalton explain it.
There's a whole lot of things we need to cover before you go and jump under the covers. You best look at all these options before you go and take another lover.
The pill, the diaphragm, and IUD are just a few options. Contraceptive injections and implants, condoms for both females and males. And last but not least, there is abstinence, and that's the least fun one.
But that's not all. We got a whole lot more to educate you on.
The pill is a hormonal treatment that stops ovulation, and it's taken orally once a day.
The IUD is a small piece of plastic inserted into the vagina that uses hormones or copper to keep the sperm away.
The diaphragm is like a little cup that you stick in your vagina to cover the cervix. Remember the spermicidal lube?
Implants work similarly to IUD, except it's inserted in the arm and it's a small little tube.
Injections work a lot like the pill, but you need to get a shot every 3 months or so.
Female condoms are great for protecting against STDs. Pop it up in there and you're ready to go.
Male condoms, or condoms, are latex sleeves that cover the penis to keep all the sperm in.
Abstinence is zero fun, but I guess it's 100% effective.
But remember, you're always going to want to pair this with one crucial method, and that's...
Withdrawal! Withdrawal, withdrawal, withdrawal! Withdrawal, withdrawal, withdrawal! Withdrawal, withdrawal, withdrawal!
withdrawal. Yeah, that's right.
Always remember to pull out, kids.
Yeah, you want to pair all these methods with something. I think they say what? It's pill, condom, withdrawal.
Yeah, those are the most effective, 100%.
Yeah, make sure you cover that shit up, girls and guys.
What up, ladies? Sex positivity all day.
Get at it.
Are you kidding me?
We actually have a song too.
Billie King. Billie King.
She's Miss
She's just a girl that dominates on the courts.
Hey,
Bobby Riggs.
This is a good song, guys.
Yeah, it's great. I'm glad you guys prepared a full
no, you
song.
guys, I feel like could actually
Sell that.
Yeah, you could definitely make some money.
Yeah, it's gonna
Public
be,
high
it's gonna
schools
be in
around the
schools.
nation
Yeah.
will play it.
That's hilarious. I mean, not hilarious. It's very educational.
Yeah.
Which
Thanks.
can
And
also
catchy.
be funny.
Yeah.
Pull out. It's stuck in my
Yeah.
head for days.
Hey,
Well, it's
withdrawal.
withdrawal.
Withdraw.
We do the correct terminology. Withdraw.
Oh, no.
Gosh, that's gonna be stuck in my head all night.
Pretty solid tune, though, right?
This is the end of homework. Now we get into grades.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll give you a clap too,
Thank you.
but
Time to do grades.
In this little break that we're doing for grades, I think that we should plug that this
Oh,
week
yes.
we won't be asking for donations. For alcohol, we pulled, I'd say like 95 to 99% of our information from
correct.
Planned Parenthood. And we will ask that you guys, instead of donating to us, donate to Planned Parenthood. Send us maybe like a screenshot of your donation or anything like that. It doesn't have to be the certain amount, but we'll give you a shout out on the next podcast if you did donate to Planned Parenthood, and we'll make sure that everybody knows you're out there doing your part.
Or at the very least, check out their research or try to volunteer.
Yeah.
very cool.
Now into grades.
So for those of you who need a reminder, we grade on 4 categories. That's accuracy, effort, quality, and woe. Like we've said for the past few weeks, we are looking for a new category for accuracy. So if you have any suggestions, please email homeworkwithfriends@gmail.com. We grade 25 points for each category, and we're going to get into them right now. Starting with the women.
Ooh.
So first, with accuracy, we are giving you a 23 out of 25
23 out of
Okay.
25. Okay.
because
Abstinence is not only for nerds.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Petty.
For effort, we are giving you a 20 out of 25. The song was incredible. And we
It was
loved
wonderful.
But it sounds like you only really used one resource. And we would have liked to know a little bit deeper knowledge.
Wait, it just sounds like?
You said you only used
Yeah, you
most
only
of
used
them
Parent-
Planned Parenthood.
Oh, we use so many resources.
You didn't reflect
Should've said that
properly.
earlier.
You're
Yeah.
right. We
It's
should have.
a-
You're right.
Oh, sorry. We were trying to do a plug.
Yeah, it's a Sharpie.
very
You're right. You're
critical.
fine. You're fine.
For quality, 20 out of 25 because
Because you really shit on abstinence.
I was kidding.
Sarah!
We're in the comedy
Oh my god,
section,
it was a
Sarah.
group decision. She made me say it. Don't put this on
I
me.
couldn't remember why. Okay.
We're in the comedy section. We got to add some funny into this.
Woe factor,
Okay.
23 out of 25.
I'm upset.
Because
Okay, Drake.
because like, there were, you guys definitely gave fun facts on multiple of them, but most of the information was already known.
That's fair.
Well, yes.
That's
to
fair.
you.
Very fair.
To females.
Yeah, so
That
to
is how we
ourselves.
grade, though.
That is how we
Yeah,
grade.
yeah,
of course,
yeah.
our listeners.
That's fair.
So, yeah. 85.
So, yes. Wait,
All
no.
right.
86
86.
out of 100.
We got an 86.
Did you guys grade us too easy? You told us.
I fucking guess so.
Bring the heat.
Well.
It looks like they were like Bobby Riggs cocky about this.
Oh!
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I forgot when Bobby Riggs wrote the entire rap before he fought
I
Billie
forgot
Jean.
to mention that
sugar
actually.
daddy.
You're right. Oh, well,
Yeah.
speaking of sugar daddy, let's get to accuracy.
Accuracy.
So,
Ugh.
we gave you 23 out of 25.
23 out of 25
Okay.
because of one simple fact. We weren't fact checking on everything, but Bobby Riggs actually got paid to wear the sugar daddy jersey.
He got paid $50,000.
I
Yes,
did
he
not know
wasn't
that.
wearing it just to be like a douchebag. He was he got paid to wear it, which is why he wore it the entire time, even though he's like
Well, he took it off the first set.
after the first set.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was profusely sweating.
His
but
coach
he-
actually yelled at him and said, like, fuck it, take
Wait,
it off.
sorry. Was it a sugar daddy's like the candy?
Yeah, he gave that lollipop to her like a giant. Well,
okay.
in the
Yes.
movie.
So
He was
Wow.
wearing like
That was-
a sweatshirt of it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
like a windbreaker of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture later.
Effort, we gave you guys a 20 out of 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for that, just because we know it kind of went down to the wire, what we learned is you can let away too much information in the podcast when you say you delayed
Yes.
stuff. So when you said you had time off and you didn't work on it, things like that, we know.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't pull an all-nighter.
Inform us
You
that
know, I
you did
worked
not.
this week though.
I did. Like, I was working
Did you?
another job.
But you did say you had some more time off.
I did.
That's a thing. Well, that's okay, but it's fine.
That's my bad.
But we wanted to reflect in the work that we
Yes.
saw, which was great, but
Fair.
20 out of 25.
Totally fair.
Quality. I guess, it was your first time on the podcast, first time doing homework. We gave you 25 out of 25.
25 out of 25.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet.
Because you know why? We sound like little whiny babies and we're upset with our grade. But guess what? We're very appreciative of you guys being
Yes,
here.
you
Well-
you don't have to be
and
here.
you did a great job.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. We
This
had a
is
lot of fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So fun. You guys are great supporters of the show.
I feel smarter.
And it was great
Same.
quality. And you know what? If I could posthumously bump up that effort score, I would. But unfortunately, my hands are tied. And then
Why are you zooming in so much?
for whoa,
I forgot there's one more.
we got
22 out of 25.
Okay.
we usually give a baseline 20 to each other. I think.
Yeah.
Unless if we're underwhelmed, we go under 20.
Okay.
If we're overwhelmed, we
You're
go we go above 20.
Yes.
And if we're whelmed, we go 20. So you usually get a point for each little whoa moment
Okay.
you get
Yeah.
above that 20. That helps. That's a little behind the scenes for you guys.
Yes.
So one thing I didn't know was that she was sued by her personal assistant. So that was a great whoa moment. And then,
What?
I have another fun fact about that. Well,
Oh.
not really a fun fact.
are you trying to
but-
get 23? We can
No.
get you there. We can get you there.
The assistant, of course, she did not win the lawsuit, but that did out Billie Jean King.
Boom. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So somehow you went down a point.
You went down 7 points. Weird.
And then we also had that the athletes were good that you picked. Those are great. That was
Yes.
awesome research. I
Oh,
like
thank
that a
you.
lot.
Thank you.
So that brings you at a 22. So that brings you to a grand total
Uh,
of a 90.
90 out of 100.
So close.
You made an A minus.
The ladies win.
The ladies win.
Well done, fellas.
Life imitates art.
Yeah.
Imitates life. You know what? We invited on some ringers.
We invited on some ringers. People who are too intelligent, too good at this.
You know what?
Stop.
As Bobby
Making us
Riggs
blush.
himself had to tuck his tail between his legs and
Yeah.
jump over that net and say, "Thank you so much for doing this. You've advanced everything." Because me and Dalton were saying before this, if you guys lose, you're setting women back 50 years.
I see. That was
That's
our
our
mindset.
feeling.
Yes. That's
Well, not
that's
50,
what
but
we
like
went
25.
into thinking.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And you did a great job. And also thinking back, if we won this, we'd be pretty tacky.
Yes, we would be tacky, wouldn't we?
I think you would.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know what? You guys want the music? It's time for you guys to be head of the class. Tell us what we are.
And you're
the
We dumb as hell.
Yeah, we suck.
So that brings us to our last portion of the podcast, and that is
Homework for next week.
Yay! So, We know it is summer break, even though it's semester 2. You're coming in.
Yeah, I think you meant sophomore year.
Sophomore year. Sophomore year. Yeah, that's what we decided.
We think we have a fun,
like, back
assignment
to
for
school
you.
assignment for you.
Okay.
For
each of us, right?
Get the motors going.
Together.
Yes, but it's not too hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
So, what we want each of you to do is an assignment about one another. But we want each of you to write a story, like summary, short story.
Okay, there we go.
About how,
those are the words that go together.
about how you each see your friendship
And
how your friendship started.
no.
Yeah.
How you met, how your friendship started and developed. And then you have to talk about your top 5 favorite memories
with the other. And you have to pick each other's drink for the week.
We have to buy each other the drink
that you
for the
actually
week.
think
they would enjoy.
Like what one of their top picks would be.
Okay, that part's easy.
I bet we both pick a cheap cab.
That's what I'd go with.
Oh, yeah, okay. You know what? I'm meeting this assignment with mixed emotions.
I thought it was so fun.
It's very fun.
Okay, should we
is
do
very
it? Should we
fun.
come back next week?
Yes.
Yeah. You have to come back
Okay.
to.
We're recording tomorrow
Do you
night.
need us? Okay.
No, it A makes me want to puke, but B is a very sweet and considerate assignment, so we will do it. But
Sorry.
you know what, guys? Thank you so much for the homework assignment. I think that sounds great. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And then once again, in lieu of sending us money for alcohol, donate at PlannedParenthood.org and send us like a little screenshot about like a donation or something, and we'll give you a shout out.
Yep.
Thank you guys for having us.
Yes,
It's so
thanks
fun.
for
very much.
coming,
It's
guys.
fun.
Sarah has a podcast.
I have a podcast with Chelsea Glosser. Some of you may know her. We're gonna start up season 2 soon.
And the name of that podcast
And
is...
the name is Kale Me.
Kale like plant, me like yourself.
You like yourself. Yeah. Listen for relatable 20s things and Trader Joe facts.
And then Kaylee, do you have anything?
I do not have a podcast, but if anyone would like me to start one, send me some money for wine on Venmo.
Where are they selling?
On Venmo at Kaleigh-Gardner.
And she also Instagram lives.
That's Kaleigh-Gardner.
G-A-R.
Gardner.
All right, thank you guys so much, and we're going to allow our guests to say our outro.
Do your homework!
Do your homework!
Bye, guys.
Why'd you do an accent?
I forgot.